This is not a drill, guys. Millions of Americans, retirees, the disabled, struggling families, they just got a lifeline. And it only came after pure outrage exploded across the country. The Social Security Administration just issued an emergency message that flips the entire script on a policy that left countless Americans in financial chaos, garnishing 100% of their monthly benefits for something that in many cases wasn't even their fault. Like, what is going on with the SSA? Imagine this, guys. You're barely surviving. You're living on fixed income, Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and suddenly you get a letter from the government saying they overpaid you, right? And now they're going to take your entire check back. Your groceries, gone. Your medications, forget it. Your rent, oh, it's past due. What are you going to do, right? Like, if you think that this is not fair, let me know, guys. Let me know if this is not fair. This doesn't sound fair to me. And this is exactly what's happening until today. But why? Why did they change course is the question. Who forced their hand? Was it President Trump? Was it Elon Musk? Was it Doge? Or was the public just too furious to ignore? So in today's video, guys, we're going to break down exactly what just changed, who's still at risk, because there are some folks that are still at risk out here, and more importantly, why this reversal might just be the beginning of much bigger wars to come with relationship to your benefits. Now, guys, we also need to talk about this new plan that's in motion to eliminate Social Security taxes entirely. That means bigger checks, bigger payments, right? We like bigger checks, right? I think we all do. And a shocking accusation from the former Social Security head that's claiming that Trump is lying to all of us. Now, let me know, guys, do you believe the Social Security head saying that Trump is lying to us, or do you believe Trump? If you believe Trump, just drop a quick 47 in the comments down below, guys. And trust me, what he's saying about Elon Musk, zombie payments, and Doge stimulus checks is going to blow your mind. Now, if you or someone you love relies on Social Security, this video, it's not just important, it is urgent. So stick with me, guys, because what's happening right now in Social Security land, this will affect every check, every retiree, and every taxpayer in the country. So let's go ahead and dive into the truth. And let's start with this emergency memo that shook the country, that just is shaking the whole system here. All right. So April 25th, I know today is April the 29th, but on April 25th, the Social Security Administration quietly issued a classified emergency memo to their staff. Now, this memo directly affects millions of Americans collecting Social Security benefits right now. This emergency directive overturned a brutal policy that had allowed the government to just garnish 100% of your Social Security check if they claim that you were overpaid. You heard that right, guys, right? And they could legally take your entire check, leaving you with nothing to pay your rent, to buy groceries, to cover medication, to keep the lights on. And it was already happening. Do you know of anyone who got affected by that? Please let me know, guys. Let me know your boots on the ground information. If you heard of anyone getting affected by that, if you knew of anyone getting their check garnished. But now the new emergency policy that they're talking about here, it says that they're only going to be able to withhold 50%. Now, let's be honest, 50% is still painful, but at least it's not a total wipeout. And so why the change, right? Well, it's because the public backlash was just so explosive. Just weeks ago, the Trump administration reinstated the full 100% clawback rule, sparking outrage across the country. People flooded news stations, legal offices, and lawmakers' inboxes. Guys, stories started pouring in. Seniors getting blindsided by letters saying that they owed thousands of dollars, often without any kind of explanation. In some cases, people were hit with $500, $5,000, even $20,000 in overpayment claims, all because of internal SSA miscalculations. And the scariest part, folks, Most recipients didn't even have any idea that they were being overpaid until their checks stopped coming in. The public pressure worked. Just 48 hours ago, the administration backed off that 100% rule. They cut it in half, and they're defaulting to 50% garnishments, and only after 90 days, unless you take action first. And so this brings us to the next thing we need to talk about. Basically, if you got one of these clawback letters, you're not out of the woods yet. Okay. And trust me, guys, stick with me, because I'm going to show you how to fight back against these letters. Don't let them take you to the cleaners. Okay. I'm going to show you guys how to fight back, and also what you have to do immediately to stop your check from being slashed in half or even worse. All right. So don't go anywhere, because the difference could literally be between keeping your check or losing half of it. Now imagine this, it's a year from now, you're saving hundreds of dollars every single year on Medicare. Your doctors are covered. Your benefits are even better, all because you made one simple, easy call to Chapter. Julie in Kansas, she did it, and she's saving like $400 a year now. Jamie in Texas, $600 more in her Social Security check. I'm pretty sure that she's saying amen to that, right? Guys, Chapter exists because their founders, they watched their own parents get bad advice, and they swore they're not going to let it happen to anybody else. And their help, good news, is that it's free. They don't even charge you anything. So I'd be calling them like yesterday, but you can call them now. I'll leave the number on the screen. Their phone number is 909-563-8279, or it might even be easier just to hit them up on the web. Their website is askchapter.org/Ron. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Super cool people. Just hit them up on the web, and tell them Ron said hello. They're awesome folks over there. So, if you've ever received one of these overpayment letters in the mail, I want you to know you're not powerless, because there are 3 actions you could take right now to fight back. But I want you to know that the clock is ticking. This is super time sensitive. Okay. So these letters, they often come without any kind of warning, and they look official. And some people even kind of like feel like they get a little anxiety in their chest, because they're a little threatening looking, right? Does anybody understand what I'm talking about when you get these, either an IRS letter or a Social Security letter? You're like, oh my God, what is this about, right? Some people say you were, some of these letters are saying that you were overpaid by thousands of dollars, and the repayment will begin in 90 days or even sooner if you don't respond to them, right? Now, I don't want you guys to get paralyzed over fear or concern about these letters, right? That's the whole point behind this video. Don't get scared, okay? Don't let this... Okay, here's what most people don't realize. You can appeal the claim. That's the first thing you need to know. You can appeal the claim. In other words, all appeal means is like, hey, look, I don't agree with you. And you can say, you can just tell them that you don't agree with them, and you can challenge it. Okay. You can request reconsideration if the SSA got the numbers wrong. You can even apply for a waiver if paying the money back would cause financial hardship. Keep those 2 words in mind, financial hardship. Okay. And let's be honest, guys, if you're on a fixed income, losing half your check, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a financial hardship. Yes or no? Right. And so, but a lot of people, they never appeal. They get scared, they feel trapped, and they feel like if they just shove it under their mattress, the problem's going to go away. They assume that the government's always right. No, let me tell you something. The government is not always right. All right. This is exactly what the SSA is counting on. But let me make this abundantly clear. If you don't do anything, if you don't take any action, guys, they're going to probably end up just clawing back your benefits, whether you agree or disagree. And this is why it is so critical that you respond immediately if you get one of these letters. Now, if you need help with the appeals process, there are other videos that cover that in detail. But let's talk about why all of this is happening in the first place, okay? Because the truth is, this is not even your fault. Most of these overpayments, they're not even caused by fraud. They're caused by errors inside the Social Security Administration itself. And in many cases, recipients received money for years with no alert, no notice, and no explanation until all of a sudden, out the blue, they're told they owe it all back. Some people are getting hit with bills for $10,000, $20,000, even more. It's ridiculous. And guess what? Many of these people are disabled people. They're on SSI, they're on SSDI, they're elderly, they're barely surviving. In one horrible, tragic, heartbreaking report, you got this 82-year-old woman. She relied on her full check, and she was ended up being left homeless after her entire benefit was withheld to cover an overpayment that she didn't even know happened. Under President Biden, a relief policy capped clawbacks at just 10% of monthly benefits. But the Trump administration returned this year. They revised the cap back to 100% until recently. So now we've had three different rules under 2 different years. There was a 10% cap under Joe Biden. There was 100% reinstated in March 2025 under Trump. And now 50% is the new default unless you act to change it. I know it's a little confusing. Absolutely. It's a little unjust. Many say so, but necessary. That's the debate that's raging across the country right now. And the debate is far from over. Let me know. Do you think that this is necessary or is it unnecessary, guys? But what we also need to talk about, we need to dive into the war of words that's going on right now between Trump and former Social Security Commissioner Martin O'Malley, who is now touring the entire country accusing Trump of launching a grave assault on the Social Security program itself. You're going to want to hear what he has to say about the staffing cuts and these zombie recipients and the secret plan to privatize Social Security from the inside out. Do you think Trump and Elon Musk are really trying to privatize Social Security? Let me know your thoughts on this, guys. But now, if you thought that this was just a policy disagreement, think again. This has actually turned into an all-out political brawl between Donald Trump and the former head of Social Security Administration himself, Martin O'Malley. Now, O'Malley, this guy, he's a former governor of Maryland and a Biden-appointed SSA commissioner. He's now touring the country, holding these town hall meetings, warning senior citizens that Trump and Elon Musk are lying to the public about what's happening behind the scenes. So at a recent stop in Cleveland, Ohio, O'Malley, he didn't mince words. He said the administration is spreading big lies about fraud, waste, and abuse. He says that they're gutting staff, confusing the public, and they're laying the groundwork to privatize Social Security. He even called it a grave assault on America's most sacred benefit program. Now, according to O'Malley, Trump and Elon Musk are stoking fear and misinformation, suggesting millions of dead people are still receiving checks, a claim that he called pure fantasy. He says, these are not my words. This is Martin O'Malley. He's saying that there's no zombie apocalypse. This is what O'Malley is telling the crowd, that there's no fraud on that scale and that there's no excuse for punishing living Americans to chase imaginary ghosts. So, hey, that's what he's saying. So what's Trump saying in response? Well, Trump is doubling down. Trump's camp is calling O'Malley's accusations a complete distraction. Instead, Trump says that the real problem isn't imaginary. It's double taxation on retirees who already paid into Social Security. Do you guys agree or disagree with that? It definitely looks like double taxation if you're getting taxes taken out of your Social Security check, right? I mean, if you paid into the system, taxes were taken out of your paycheck to pay Social Security. So if they're taxing you again, looks like double taxation to me. And so this is where the battle gets even bigger, because Trump's not just defending the reversal of the clawback policy. Trump is pushing a sweeping proposal to end federal taxes on Social Security altogether. Trump said, and let me know if you guys agree with Trump on this one. Number one, do you agree with Trump moving forward with trying to eliminate these federal taxes on Social Security? But also, do you agree with Trump when Trump says that this is not an entitlement? This is what he said on Truth Social. He said it's money you earned and you shouldn't be taxed twice to get it back. Do you agree? If you do, drop a 47 in the comments, guys. Now, currently, millions of retirees, they're paying income tax on up to 85% of their Social Security benefits, depending upon how much money they make. Trump wants to wipe that tax out completely in what he's calling this big, beautiful bill. But it's not without some pushback. Critics are saying that it's fiscally irresponsible and it could speed up the program's insolvency by years. In fact, some analysts are actually warning that if Trump's tax cut plan is enacted, the Social Security Trust Fund could run dry by 2031 instead of 2034. But Trump's team says the experts have been wrong before, and they're confident that they can protect and even expand the benefits by rooting out the waste, and boosting efficiency and bringing in fresh revenue from other sources. Now, what are your thoughts, guys? I think that sounds like a very optimistic plan. But what we need to talk about is how Elon Musk and the Doge team factor into all of this and what they're doing behind the scenes to try and clean up the Social Security system, what they're doing to expose the fake payments, and possibly even deliver stimulus refund checks through what they're calling the Doge dividend plan. I mean, I'd love to get a stimulus check out as long as it ain't going to send inflation shooting up through the roof. What do you guys think? I know it sounds wild, but it's actually already in motion and it could change everything, guys. So don't go anywhere. What you want to hear next could mean bigger checks, or it could be no checks at all, but we need to break that down. So you might be wondering, what does Elon Musk have to do with Social Security, right? A lot of people message me that, ask me that. I see it in the comments. What does Elon Musk have to do with Social Security? Well, actually a lot more than you might think. According to insiders, Elon Musk, right alongside with the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, not the Doge cryptocurrency, he has been advising President Trump on this massive digital audit of the entire Social Security system. And the claims are actually quite shocking. So Elon Musk's team alleges that millions of dollars are being funneled to ghost recipients, including dead people, double accounts, duplicate accounts, foreign nationals with forged fake identities. Elon Musk calls it fraud at scale, and Trump is using those claims to justify a full cleanup operation. But here's a twist. If Elon Musk and Doge are successful, they're promising not just cleaner books, but more money for real beneficiaries like you. That's right, guys. More cash in your pocket. Can I get an amen on that, right? So Trump has essentially teased that this cleanup windfall could help with what he calls the Doge dividend checks. This is a one-time or possibly even recurring stimulus check style refund that's tied directly to recovering this fraud and waste. So yes, guys, we are talking about actual refund checks for actual retirees funded by elimination, corruption, and bloat. So this brings us to the centerpiece of all of this stuff. And this is what Trump is calling the big, beautiful bill. And so this legislation is already being drafted by the House Ways and Means Committee. And according to Representative Jason Smith, we're just days away from an official announcement. Now, here's what they're talking about. This is what the rumors are saying inside this bill. Elimination of federal tax on Social Security, Doge dividend refund checks, protection against future 100% clawbacks, this new fraud detection AI system to prevent overpayments from happening in the first place. And if it gets passed, it could reshape the Social Security program as we know it. Now, here's the $1 million question. Can they pass this bill before the 2026 solvency deadline starts breathing down everybody's neck? And are these promises real solutions, or is this political bait? Well, we're going to talk about what the experts are saying about this entire plan, how double taxation could be eliminated for half the country, and why critics believe that it could blow a hole in the whole program that's just so big that it starts sinking by 2031. So stick with me, guys, because we need to talk about this. You worked your whole life, guys. You paid into Social Security every time you got a paycheck. But now that you're retired, like, they're taxing it again? Really? This is exactly what millions of Americans are discovering this tax season. And this is what President Trump is calling double taxation at its worst. So according to the Congressional Research Service, about 40% of Social Security recipients, they're getting taxed on their benefits. And for higher earners, it's even worse than that. Comment down below if you're getting taxed on your benefits, guys. Just drop a quick yes or no on that one. But let's break this down. If you're single and you earn under $25,000 a year, you pay no taxes on your benefits. If you're married and you're under $32,000 a year, you're also exempt. But once you pass those thresholds between $25,000 and $34,000 for individuals, or $32,000 to $44,000 for couples, up to 50% of your benefits can be taxed. Above that, get ready to pay tax on up to 85% of your benefits. And here's the kicker, guys. These income thresholds, they haven't changed since 1983. That's right, guys. While benefits rise with inflation, the income brackets, they don't change, which means more and more people are getting dragged into these higher tax exposure situations every single year. It's terrible. Trump's argument, he says, hey, that's not just unfair, it's deliberate. So Trump wants to abolish federal taxes on Social Security benefits entirely and make sure that 100% of what you're owed actually gets to your bank accounts. And a lot of retirees agree. You know, groups like the Senior Citizens League, they're calling it common sense, saying that benefits shouldn't be taxed after you've already paid into them, you know, with income tax for decades. But unfortunately, not everybody's on board with this thing here. You got analysts from Penn Wharton and the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. They're sounding the alarm right now, warning that removing this revenue source could cause Social Security trust funds to go insolvent 3 years earlier by 2031. They're saying it mainly benefits wealthier seniors, and that the financial shortfall could put younger generations at risk. But the battle lines, I think, are pretty clear. So on the one hand, you got Trump over here. He wants to protect seniors' income and fight what he sees as a rigged system. But then you have critics over here, and they're saying that Trump's plan may bankrupt the program faster unless there's a plan to kind of make up for the lost revenue. Well, if you let Trump tell it, Trump's saying he is going to be making up for the lost revenue. So what we need to talk about right now is we need to talk about this very question. What's the real cost of ending Social Security taxation? Like, could removing taxes on your check actually leave your grandkids without a check? And could the solution be as simple as just raising the cap on the income that's being taxed? So this is where things get deeply personal and financially explosive, guys. But of course, we're running out of time. And unless something changes fast, the entire Social Security system, it could face collapse by 2034. The official projection, but according to the latest economic models, if Trump's plan to eliminate federal Social Security taxes is passed without a replacement funding strategy, the clock could strike midnight even sooner by 2031. So that's 6 years from now. And it's no longer just analysts that are sounding the alarm. It's actually turning into a political firestorm right now. Former SSA Commissioner Martin O'Malley, he's saying that the program is being intentionally pushed toward a crisis so that the private accounts or massive benefit cuts could be floated as the only solution. But here's another way. O'Malley is proposing a simple but powerful fix. He's saying lift the cap on how much income gets taxed for Social Security. So right now, any income over $176,100 is completely exempt. So this means billionaires like Elon Musk, they hit their annual Social Security tax cap within minutes of the new year, while working class people, they pay on every single dollar that they earn. Raising or eliminating the cap would bring in $3.2 trillion over 10 years, which would be enough to extend solvency for decades without cutting a dime from your check. But so far, this idea isn't being included in the bill, in the big beautiful bill. Now, the other question is if billionaires like Elon Musk have to contribute more of their income, do they get more of that payout when it comes time for them to retire from Social Security? I hadn't seen the details on that one yet, but clearly the public is boiling over on this one. I mean, just look at what happened in the last 18 months or so. The Social Security Administration's policy on overpayments, it flip-flopped 3 times, from 10% garnishments under Biden to 100% clawbacks under Trump's return. And now we're looking at a 50% default withholding if you don't fight. So that chaos, it left millions of people confused, anxious, and in some cases just straight up desperate. People are waking up to letters saying, hey, you owe us $8,000. Repayment begins next month. That's scary. And the reaction? Calls to the SSA have skyrocketed. Advocacy groups are overwhelmed. Some recipients are being left homeless after full check garnishments. Experts are calling it a bureaucratic disaster. And, this is one that's tearing apart the trust in the very agency that's meant to support our seniors and most vulnerable. So, where does this leave us, right? Is there hope for seniors right now? And what's the one thing you have to do if you're turning 65 or you're already on Medicare? Well, you don't want to miss this part because it could save you thousands of dollars and it could change how you plan the next 10 years, guys. But I will say this. Before we close this out, there's one last piece of the puzzle that could make or break your retirement, and that is Medicare. Now, if you or someone you love is turning 65 soon, or maybe you're on Medicare, maybe they're already on Medicare, you need to hear this, okay? Medicare is confusing by design. There's hundreds of plans out there. The government doesn't guide you. And if you make the wrong choice, you could lose thousands of dollars in coverage or benefits that you are entitled to. And so this is why I've personally partnered with a team that I trust, Chapter Medicare. Now, their service is 100% free. Their advisors are independent, which means they work for you. They don't work for these insurance companies out here. They're going to compare every plan in your zip code. They're going to help you to avoid these costly mistakes, all in one easy phone call. And they're super nice. So whether you're enrolling for the first time or maybe you're already on Medicare and you're wondering if you're overpaying or you're missing out on something, this could be one of the smartest calls you ever make. So call the number on your screen or click the link in the description down below of this video. I'll probably also leave a pinned comment for you guys down below. Let them walk you through this. You can call them on the phone at 909-563-8279, or you can visit them at askchapter.org/Ron and make sure that your future is taken care of, guys. It's super easy. It's free and it could save you thousands of dollars. So I really hope that helps at least one person out there today. But listen, guys, I know we covered a lot in today's video. The emergency message that reversed full clawbacks, the brutal chaos caused by the SSA policy changes, the war of words between President Trump and O'Malley, and of course, the massive reforms being packed into President Trump's big, beautiful bill. But here's what matters most: your voice. These changes, they're happening fast. And if you're not paying attention, you could end up getting left behind. Or worse, you could end up being blindsided by a clawback letter or a tax a possible tax hit that you didn't even see coming. So this is why I'm here, guys, to help you stay one step ahead, to help you to break it down, to understand, to fight for clarity in a system that's designed to confuse everybody and just wear people down. So if you guys appreciated this breakdown, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It basically just tells the algorithm that, hey, this information is worth spreading and it could help others like you find it. And if you haven't already, again, definitely subscribe to the channel. I'll be covering every new update, every line of the new bill, and just exactly how it's going to help you to how it's going to impact your future checks, your taxes, your future. So anyway, just a quick reminder: if you got a clawback letter, appeal it immediately. If you disagree with it, if you're close to Medicare age, hit the link in the description down below or call the number on your screen. And if you want real reform, just keep showing up, because clearly the pressure's working. This is your money. This is your benefits. This is your future. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Be safe.